Serious Survivor here. Today we're going to talk about the top 10 items necessary for survival in a SHTF or without rule of law situation or scenario. This is not a full, total, and complete list, and what I mean is there is definitely room for additions to this list. But with these supplies, you will have a much better chance for survival. Remember, bargain shopping is great for some things, but when we're talking about gear that your life can and will depend on, you may not want to hold back as much. I'm not saying spend as much money as possible, but make sure your gear is quality, reputable, and field tested. You don't want to have your life depend upon the clearance rack specials that no one else wanted. Make your choices wisely with your gear, and keep in mind this gear could very well determine whether you live another day or die cold and alone. This list is designed with the idea of bugging out in an emergency situation in which your life depends on the distance in which you can put between you and whatever threat you're facing. A without rule of law or shit hit the fan scenario. This is not a product review or an attempt to sell or push any certain brands of gear. It's up to you individually as to what brands you prefer and exactly what type you want and need. An expensive, beautiful firearm isn't much use unless you can use it effectively. So training is also a key factor. Training is as important as any item on this list. Without proper training and knowledge on how to properly use your gear is basically dead weight. Remember, being comfortable and efficient with the gear you have is more important than spending more money than the person next to you. It's about survival, not bragging rights. First category, pistol or handgun, and of course ammunition. I group these together because a sidearm and ammo go hand in hand. Ammo alone is not very useful, except for the gunpowder, which can be used to start a fire or maybe seal a wound. And a sidearm alone isn't useful unless you have ammo for it. Now the debate ranges as to which sidearm is better for SHTF. Some say revolver, some say semi-auto. I say whichever you, as an individual, are more comfortable and effective with. A revolver has advantages in the fact that they are usually sturdy, very reliable, and require very little maintenance. The drawback is the limited number of shots before reloading is necessary. Even with a speed loader, it takes precious seconds to complete, and sometimes seconds are a commodity you don't have. I do recommend a common caliber 38, 357. Overall though, revolvers are a very reliable and excellent choice. A semi-auto definitely has an advantage in magazine capacity. I personally carry a Glock 21 45 ACP. I like it because of its durability and dependability. It also has a 15+1 capacity, which allows me to put a lot of lead downrange before reloading. I don't want to make the 1911 lovers mad by saying the Glock is my first choice. My backup is a Browning High Power 9, which is basically a 1911 clone. These are two very accurate and dependable firearms. Now the key to sidearms is to do your research. Even talk to your friends. Compare the benefits and disadvantages of each before making your purchase. Because this is a purchase that could have your life hanging in the balance one day. The most important thing about sidearm selection is to know your weapon. A lot of firearms are picky about what kind of ammo they shoot. You don't have this problem with a revolver, and I haven't seen it either with my Glock or Browning, but some types of firearms are definitely picky about what kind of ammo they will feed and fire. So practice with all types of ammo in your firearm and see which feeds the best and groups tightest for your particular weapon. Second category, rifle or shotgun and ammo. I group the rifle and shotgun together because in a realistic scenario, you may not have the luxury of owning both or being able to equip both in a SHTF scenario. Both have their advantages. I definitely recommend a high power and accurate rifle over the shotgun, but you have to make do with what you have sometimes. There are a lot of good choices for rifles on the market. I like the high-capacity platforms, such as the AR-15, M4, AK-47, SKS, but they all have their advantages. The AR and the M4 are both very dependable platforms, and they're known for their accuracy and simple disassembly and cleaning. The only drawback some may bring to light is the fact that the caliber is .223 or 5.56. This is a smaller caliber, yet it still packs an amazing punch for its size. Accuracy and lightweight is what this platform is really known for. Well, That and for looking really cool and really badass. Now the AK and SKS platforms are similar, and most are the 7.62 by 39 caliber. This is definitely going to pack a heavier punch than the 5.56, but you will sacrifice a little in accuracy for the extra power. These platforms, especially the AK-47, are world renowned for their reliability and functionality. These firearms can shoot under just about any conditions imaginable. For those on a budget, an AK will be easier to obtain and keep up than an AR or an M4. Now always remember, no matter which platform you choose, no matter which one fits you the best, practice, train, then practice more, and then train again. A firearm isn't much good if you can't use it, clean it, or repair it. Category 3, medical and grooming kits. I group these two together because they fit together really well. And plus, a small grooming kit can easily fit inside most medical kits. Now, these are more important than a lot of people realize, and this is an area, if you go cheap, you will regret, without a doubt. A medical kit is a definite necessity for any long-term survival situation. Everyone has different needs in this category, so there is no one-size-fits-all medical setups. Just make sure you pack what you personally need. Antacids, blood pressure medicine, other medicines you have to take. If you are more prone to pain and sickness, make sure to load it down with pain relievers, antibiotics, and such. This is a kit that needs to be tailored specifically to you and your family. What works for me here may not work for you. So let's not forget the importance of grooming. Even in SHTF, it goes a long way to just have fresh breath and clean teeth, and possibly a shave every once in a while. Personally, I have made the grooming kit a part of my medical kit. If you feel better, then chances are you're going to perform better. Category 4. A very important category, but limited in what you can carry with you, is water. Now, some type of water purification system is definitely necessary, and there are many choices available when making this decision. This is one of the most important items that you can take with you. This is also personal preference on exactly which type, because there are many brands on the market, and push come to shove, most of these brands function just as well as the other. There are 3 main types. There is a water bottle with built-in purification. This is an excellent type and is my first choice personally. Seychelles makes an excellent filter and bottle. I like it because it serves as a purifier for my water and also a drinking cup for other liquids. I can carry the water with me, sort of killing 2 birds with 1 stone there. The next type is the life straw type or variant. This is also an excellent choice, but it does limit you to drinking only at the water source unless you have other storage capabilities. Now, there are several of these on the market, and the majority of them work very, very well. Now, the third type of purification is the standard water purification tablets. These are great, but you have to be careful about the ratio in which you use them, and also must have a separate container for your water in. You have to be really careful about how long you store these and how you store these, the temperature in which you store them under. So figure out which one works best for you, or if you have room, all 3. Never hurts to be over-prepared. Category 5. Category 5 is food and utensils. I group these two together because it simply makes sense. There are a lot of options for long-term food. Now, remember, this is not a long-term fix because it would be nearly impossible to carry a year's supply of food with you physically. This is just meant as enough to supplement or help get you by for short amounts of time when you can't find other sources of food. There are many brands on the market, and it boils down to which one you like best. Because to be honest, they all taste fairly good. They all last about the same amount of time, 15 to 25 years, and they are all fairly easy to prepare. The main types are usually freeze-dried or deoxygenated. The MREs are very popular, but some people like something with a little more taste, like a Mountain House or Wise. The utensil is just as important as the food. And by utensils, I mean a cup that can double as a pot to cook in over a fire, and a fork and spoon. That's pretty much all you need as far as the basics of survival go. Category 6, a fire starter. This is also an important category. A fire starter can be a lifesaver. There are a multitude of types on the market, and most are fairly inexpensive. It doesn't hurt to have a few of these. Here we will look at some of the most popular types. Remember, practice with these before you try to survive on them. Fires are not easy to build, especially if you haven't got experience doing it. It's not just a simple strike and go. Just having or owning a fire starter doesn't guarantee that you can actually build a fire. So once again, it goes back to training and preparation. When people talk about prepping, we're not talking about storing goods. We're talking about preparation. It doesn't do you a lot of good to have a ton of equipment if you don't know how to use it. Category 7, a fixed blade knife. I cannot stress enough the importance of this item. Knives have a multitude of purposes, from self-defense to hunting, skinning, to cutting your rope, to splitting your wood. Having a good fixed blade knife is a necessity. Now, a good knife will not be dirt cheap. You can expect to lay down $50, $100, or more for a knife in the high-end range, but do it. This is one of the most important items you will have with you. Now, there are too many brands of knife on the market to cover here, so this once again boils down to your personal preference and how much you'd like to spend. Category 8, a multi-tool. This may not be considered a necessity by many, but I think it should be. The reason is a multi-tool gives you a small tool set, a couple of screwdrivers, a knife blade, a saw blade, scissors, can openers, bottle opener, and more. There are a variety of these on the market, and they can make an excellent addition to your kit. Category 9, a change of clothes. Often underestimated. When you are in a survival situation, a change of clothes can really change your day and your attitude. It helps to have something clean you can put on while you wash your other clothes in the nearby river or stream. Remember, half of survival is mental. So if you do anything to make yourself feel better and just a little more comfortable, then it can't really help your state of mind. And if you have a better state of mind, then you have a better chance of survival. Now, the last category. I group 3 items together here because, in my opinion, they can be packed together or tied together, and all 3 are very important. A tent will provide shelter and even a little concealment from the elements, and this doesn't need much explaining. A sleeping bag will help you stay warm at night and keep you off the ground, because during the night you can lose a lot of body heat by sleeping directly on the ground, as it's sometimes much cooler than the ambient surroundings. The last part of this category is rope or line or cordage, as some people call it. And rope has many uses, and without it you'll find yourself at a loss when it comes to securing things. This is one of those items that, unless you are already a hardcore survivalist, that you may not see the importance for. Just trust in the fact that rope, line, or cordage makes absolutely every top 10 or top 5 list for a very good reason. Now, I hope this was somewhat informative, and I just thought I'd share my opinion on some items and talk about some of the most important things that I believe we should all have during SHTF or without rule of law. There is much more that can be added to these lists, but the contents of this list can easily be carried by one individual and definitely leaves room to make additions. Thanks for watching. Please like, share, and subscribe, and help support this channel and bring in more information like this. Serious Survivor.